know what I did. I know what I did. Did I break stuff? Hey guys, I am Alex Taylor and we are at Beech Bend right now for Holley Ford Fest. It's a little different. Don't think I own a Ford in my stable, but we're out here and we get to try something new today. I went to LS Fest West with Holley, got to try off-roading with Darren Parsons. We went over to the autocross course, tried a little bit of everything out there, but there was one thing left that I didn't get to try. So I'm here with you today.
Sweet, and we're going to teach you how to do some drifting, or shredding as I like to call it. It's basically like all of the extreme sports that you've seen, but packed into motorsports, which you're pretty familiar with. We have my buddy Vaughn Gittin Jr.'s Fox Body Missile car here. This is a car that is meant for just having fun and not so concerning on how it looks and driving close to your friends. So today you can have fun and don't worry about beating it up at all. We'll get you out there. First, we're going to start off with some simple timing exercises because it's a lot different than a lot of the things you've done in terms of handbrake and rotating the car and getting the feel for that. So we'll work on the timing aspect of it. Once you've got that done, we're going to work on some single turn drifts and then the most difficult, which is the transition. But you've got some motorsports background, so I think you're going to do just fine.
I can say I've never done anything like this, so it's like a blank canvas. There's nothing you have to unteach this
That's
way,
better,
right?
trust
me.
that's
good, right?
Perfect. Let's get on it. Let's do it. Okay, so I know you're really green to drifting.
Yeah.
So we're going to start off with this timing exercise.
Okay.
So if you notice there's 4 cones in the center, the goal is to rotate around those cones.
Okay.
And then there's 2 cones driver left over here, which is basically a handbraking zone. So the goal is to drive up towards these cones and pull the handbrake at the first cone. Okay. Hold it all the way to the second cone, and then power around it in like the shape of a U. So we're just making a U-turn.
Going that.
Yep, exactly. Okay. I don't want to overload you with too much information at first, so there'll be some natural skill that you have. So we're going to make sure you do that, and then I'll fine tune it from there. Okay. But the goal is to hold it and hold the handbrake all the way out to this second cone here. Okay. And if you notice, at this second cone, you're clear of those cones to fire off, right? Okay. So as soon as you let off the handbrake, it's going to want to go forward immediately. Okay. The handbrake's what's holding you back from driving into everything. Okay. So once you know you're visually clear of that, you can let off the handbrake, dump the clutch, and pick up the throttle.
You made it sound simple.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll fine tune it. Okay. I'm just giving you the basics of it.
Okay. So
another important thing is every time you pull the handbrake, you have to be in on the clutch, because we're locking the rear wheels up. Okay. So if you pull the handbrake and you don't have it on the clutch, likely it won't lock the wheels. Okay. And if it does, it'll stall the motor. Okay. Because you're not disabling it.
Right. Okay. So that's going to be, when you're saying timing, that's one that we're really going to be.
Yeah, that timing of having the clutch in and pulling the handbrake, and then also the timing of like visually where you're at to pull the handbrake in those cones.
Okay. Okay. I think trying to
but
process
it's like a staging brake.
Yeah.
It's the same
It'll be fine.
It's just not auto, so
right. Okay.
You got to clutch in. So if you pull that lever, it'll slide the seat forward and back. Okay. So you can get that set up how you need to. Just make sure you can get the clutch all the way down easily. For the handbrake pull, think of it more of like an on-off switch, not necessarily something like a potentiometer. So you want to pull it quick and then hold it. So if you pull it hard but slow, what happens is you're at the mercy of whenever the brake pads have enough friction to lock the tire, or if you just pull it quick, it like snaps them and locks it. Okay. I have a lot of dudes that like do regular road racing, like sprint car racing, dirt track stuff. They come out to the school and I teach them, and they're emailing me a couple weeks later like, man, it made me so much faster in this other discipline or whatever the case is. Because this, you just find the limit immediately and surpass it. Right. Whereas like typically those other motorsports, you're like gaining and trying to find the limit and then backing down.
Back down?
Now you just show up and find the limit immediately because you're not scared of it, you know?
That makes sense.
Release, okay.
Is your guys is different than mine?
Just push it on and then spin it. There you go. Okay. Okay, all right. So yeah, so go ahead and start it and then flip that switch to driver. Yep, so you're all good. So yeah, first gear, about 4,000 to 5,000 RPM. Quick pull of the handbrake and then hold it until you're clear. All right? Okay. Go for it. Solid first attempt. Okay. So a little quicker on the handbrake. Okay. Also, maybe before you come back around, just drag the handbrake a little bit so the pads get some heat in them.
Okay.
So a little quicker on the handbrake, and as soon as you let go of it, you're firing onto the gas.
Okay.
Like basically no delay.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Go for it. It's all good.
I am on the brake, full on, until I get to that second cone, and then I drop it.
Yeah, exactly. So once you're filled that zone and the car is rotated, but I think the pads probably don't have enough
That's
heat in
what you're
them.
saying. I just need to
So yeah, just do like a half a lap when you go out there and just drag the brake with some force to get some heat to it. The handbrake doesn't work in this car. Let me figure the demo car thing out. The biggest thing is the seating position in that car is going to be tough. Okay, yeah, you can just jump out. They're going to bring another car. How do we can't move the seat.
We're going to take a demo car.
So we're going to have to pad her up. Well, the handbrake in the other car works.
The handbrake takes so much power to pull that like I can't pull it. He has trouble pulling it. He has to like upset the car. So they're bringing, or whatever they call it, so they're bringing the demo car.
So you just don't have a muscle to pull it?
Well, he can barely pull it too. So, and like the angle that I'm at, because I have to be so far forward, like I can't even get that much leverage on it.
You're up in. What car are they bringing?
One of those.
The demo one. It's 1,000 horsepower.
Nice. Well, score.
Yeah.
Hey, we turned the power down to like 800, so you'll be all right. Oh, the seat height. See if that's closer.
I'll just do lap belt.
Try to
turn my
yeah,
shoulders.
There we go.
All right, 4,000, handbrake at the cones, and then power out of it. Okay. No power brakes.
I didn't have
There's
any.
no power brakes, so just be ready. You gotta push hard on the brakes. Okay, so we're gonna keep you in this car because that works. When you pull the handbrake, give it a little bit more of a steering input. So you pull the handbrake and you're lifting your left hand up, and then once it starts rotating, you're still on the handbrake, easy on the wheel, and then once you're clear of the cones, you're firing up.
Okay.
No, you're good.
I'm
hey,
sorry.
just do a drive around and drag some heat into the pads again real quick. Rotating and you're kind of turning your head to make sure you're getting to that second cone.
Okay.
And then when you are at it, you can fire off and look at the 4 cones in the center.
Okay.
Okay? So give it a little bit of a turn first, then on the handbrake. If you just split them by like a quarter of a second. Okay, I'm gonna get these people to move, and the goal is to basically do that, what you just did, and then cross back, like stop drifting, drive up, and do the same thing to these cones. So it's identical, it's just the other direction.
I feel better. That was a little better, right? A little.
You're right there. More brake.
Yeah, there we go.
Dang it.
The handbrake locked up. Can you feel the difference?
Yeah.
Like when it's locked up? Once you're rotated, you know you're going to clear the 4 cones in the center. You want to look at your exit at that point. It's funny, I told her 4,000 RPM, but I think she's at about 6,000 now. Just watch the speed and maybe bring it down a little and then handbrake a little earlier. There we go. Throttle, there we go. Turn the wheel to the left.
Did I break stuff?
There's 3. Where's the 4th one? Okay, we're good.
Did I break it?
You got 3 out of 4. That's pretty good.
I'm sorry. Don't mess it up.
There we go. One more throttle. There it is. A little more throttle. Yeah! Hell yeah! That's all right. 2 out of 3. Let's see how. We just had to break it up a little bit.
Okay, yeah, that helps.
Having fun?
Yeah. Okay, took a minute. I felt like I was super slow there, but he said he timed me. He said for his students that he normally teaches, I think he said an hour and 15 minutes typically, every student. So we went through that in like 40 minutes. What I was getting hung up on was like the timing of everything, and he broke it down to like points A and points B. So once we got to a point where he could break it down for me, point A was working on just focusing on entry and brake, and then B was working on exit and aggression. And so I was mixing all of that up earlier and properly. And so what helped was brake at first cone, focus on your RPM. There's so many things happening at once. Brake, focus on RPM, release after you've got the car turned, and then once it's turned and you know it's turned and you let off the clutch and let off the handbrake, you have to be aggressive out of it, but focused on your next point, which happened to be the 2 cones that were right here. So for a minute I was like, I just can't, like I am not picking this up. But turns out I was so far unknowledgeable about it because I've never done it. I needed to figure out what I didn't know, which was everything, and then work up from there.
Okay, so you defeated the handbrake timing exercise, so that's pretty rad.
Okay.
And now we're gonna move on to an actual drift turn.
Okay.
Okay, so the goal here is we're gonna do a left-handed drift turn. You did a little bit better with those over here, and I think that's mostly because of the handbrake.
Okay.
So we're gonna keep focusing on making it easier for you to get the handbrake locked up.
Okay.
So we're gonna do an actual left-hand drift.
Okay.
We're done with first gear.
Oh,
It's
okay.
gonna be second now.
Okay.
So you'll want to be second gear, right at about 4,000-ish. Same
Okay.
same RPM and sound as before.
Okay.
And then these are your 2 cones for the handbrake. We're gonna have you drive up into this section here.
Okay.
And the goal is to kind of come out to this white line a little bit and then drive over. You know how like we were trying to get you a little bit of an angle. Pulling the handbrake at the first cone, holding it all the way to the second cone. And then you're gonna fire off into this open space on throttle, and you're gonna wrap to the inside of those far cones. So in the beginning, I would be running a little bit wider, and then we can start honing in and getting it a little bit smoother through there.
I'm liking it. I'm very hard on myself when it comes to like doing stuff right. So like I am probably over analyzing and it probably bites me a little bit, but I think I need to at the same time. So it's totally unlike anything I've ever done. I think my dad's over there. I'm going to have to break the news to him later that we got another project in the works.
Don't overthink it.
Don't overthink it.
Same thing.
Okay.
Step A, step B. All right.
Not that.
No, solid first attempt. All the cones are still standing up. That's good. So a little bit more speed, a little bit later on the handbrake.
Okay.
Go for it.
Too much.
Yeah! Got it. That was it.
That was better?
You're a drifter now. It's official.
Okay, that felt better.
That was good.
Okay.
That was good. So I would keep focusing on those things that you just did. Okay. Let's do a few laps in a row without coming back to me.
Not enough handbrake and more gas.
Oh, she's cooking. A little bit slower. Okay, so you did all the handbraking in a straight line with no turning. Sweet.
I'm sorry.
So better, just that was way more than 40% off the handbrake.
You're right.
So like going from like, let's say like 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Like start steering towards the drift. That way it stops you from spinning out.
Okay.
Okay?
I know what I did. I know what
Cool, we
I
got
did.
something
I
to
know
work
what I
on.
did. I know what I did.
She's so frustrated. She gets so frustrated, dude. So same thing, same handbrake timing, same everything, just a little less left hand down.
Okay.
You're just giving it too much left
That
hand
makes
down.
sense.
That's all.
Okay.
Once you get that, it's gonna nail it. You're gonna
Okay.
nail it. Be a good one. We're finding the balance here.
Too much gas.
It's wild teaching a chick that's not afraid of speed, though.
That felt better.
There you go! You looked where you were
That
supposed to
made
go
like
and it
so
worked.
much difference. It's like I do something and then I'm like, oh, that felt good, and then I'm like, no,
Yeah,
it
you're really
felt
good at
awful.
like under and then over driving the car. So
Uh-huh.
we just need to mate those together.
Okay.
That's good though, because like you know both. Going on
I
at once.
think where I'm like getting hung up the most is, and I don't know how to analyze this, but for me, I feel like I hit the brake and I'm focused on that, And then at the same, then I'm like, oh, I forget to look at the sign, which made a huge difference when I did that. And then I didn't even do that time, even though I had just talked about it.
But if you're separating that first and second step, you shouldn't have to worry about it because you're
Yeah.
handbraking, you're looking out to the cone, and you're like, oh, I'm where I want to be. This is exactly where I want to be. So then you're letting off and firing off into that area.
Yeah. You know what I can say? I thought that this was, I did not realize how much patience was required for this. I felt like it was just like, go.
Everybody says that.
And it's so not. It's so much more slow and methodical.
For sure.
It's surprising.
For sure. Yeah, it's a lot.
For it.
But again, like to help with your justice here, this car is definitely more of a high level car to drive. I mean, it's about 750 horsepower, and you know, it's set up to shred. You know. I'm gonna take you for some laps too and kind of show you so you can physically tie it up to it, because right now you probably have some questions that you can't answer as driving it. So looking at what I'm gonna do will probably help that too.
I think so.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. I think you just kind of watch the timing of everything.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yep.
I'll do a couple. See how it's very separated? Yeah. You want one more or are you good?
One more. I can go watch your one more.
All right, whenever you're ready. Have fun. The eyes of disappointment every time. As soon as you steer down and handbrake and you feel the car start the rotation, just let the wheel just lightly in your hand. When you let go of your hand, you let go of the handbrake too.
Oh, yeah.
You let go of everything.
Oh.
So stay on the handbrake, but be light on this hand.
Okay.
Yep. Once it clicks though, it's like, when it's getting it to click. There you go. Throttle. That's it. So no steps in between. So step A can last as long as you need it to last, as long as you're being light on the wheel. Yeah! Yeah! Do another one!
Okay,
Yeah!
one more time.
Yeah! Do another one! There it is. You're a drifter!
It finally made sense.
It makes sense.
It makes sense. Better.
Yeah, you look like you're having fun now.
Yeah.
It was nice watching you come back and not have the disappointing eyes. Ready to build a drift car now?
I want
It's got to
to.
be a Ford though.
Oh man, come on. Okay, so Chelsea, thank you so much for coming out and letting me switch up and drive your car. That wasn't
no problem.
planned, so.
I'm glad you got to get out and shred. Much improvement, obviously going from not being able to drift to shredding these turns in this thing.
Yeah, thank you so much. And that is us closing off here at Ford Fest, learning to drift. So stay tuned because I'm sure I could probably find another driving style later to try out.